I had just lived through the Spravato thing. I was a naysayer. I didn't want to go back there. And here I am back in Dr. Brankenstein's office, not knowing what was going to happen. God, I don't know how long I've been at this, a couple of months, right? 2 months. I don't know. And it's doing something.
Kyle, Andy, do me a favor. Tell them who you are.
I am Andy Wilkins, and I am retired from the Department of Defense. I've done quite a bit overseas, Afghanistan, Iraq, Somalia, South America, dabbled in Africa. I've done quite a bit, 25 years of my life, and I am now retired and enjoying life as best as I can.
How long were you enlisted?
25 years.
25 years. Seen some things.
Couple.
Lived through horrible situations.
Mm-hmm.
The stories that you've told in this office has made me suck my thumb on several occasions.
I still do.
What have you done for your mental health?
Well, number one, it was a battle because I'm stubborn. And
just a little bit.
Just a little. Where I come from, mental health isn't discussed. You don't talk to it about it in your peer group. You don't talk about it to your leadership. You can have pillow talk with your loved ones, but really you hide it. So I hid it not only in a bottle, but I hid it really from myself, just assuming that it was part of my upbringing, the way I was expected to behave. And then it got to a point where it was so bad, I was ready to take my life just to make kind of the demons go away. And my wife literally saved me. I was on my way. I had a plan. The weather was just right. And which is a whole different story in itself. But she stopped me, and I'm glad she did. So from literally the next day, we started seeking help. Man. I had been planning it for quite a while. I had a way to make it appear like it was not a suicide. All very, very planned out.
Very detailed. Very planned out. As soon as you said that, it popped right in my head, and I knew exactly what you were saying. And I don't want you sharing that, right?
No, I don't want to because, well, that's my idea. I don't share my ideas. I have a patent on that one.
Okay. I mean, you could patent it. It was so detailed.
Yeah. Kind of scary.
Very scary.
That's the way my brain works. And, and speaking of my brain, I've done a lot to help it get to this point, right? Lines of work, and just we have advanced so far in the protection of that dainty, delicate organ, right? And I never really, I did it, but I didn't, right? Because a lot of the precautions that you had to take interfered with your daily ongoings.
Okay.
Right.
Like what?
For example, wearing a particular type of helmet, it might impede your vision.
Okay.
Right. We'll call it a bump helmet, right? We didn't really start using protective type helmets until probably mid 90s, basic ProTech helmet. And in this line of work, you're not always going to wear one. We are much better now where guys are wearing protective headgear. You are trained to do things. And a lot of times you're not even wearing ear protection, but these micro concussions, we'll call them micro concussions, that are happening almost on a daily basis are just contributing to everything around you. And I'm sure that I'm going down a rabbit hole with this, but I'm good with it. When you're training to go somewhere, you're shooting rockets, shoulder fired rockets, 84, 86 millimeter. And it's just concussion after concussion. And you can't protect yourself from that at all. As a breacher, you just can't protect yourself, your positioning, so on and so forth. And some people may disagree, and that's fine. Everybody's got a belly button, and mine's just different than theirs. But you really can't control it. And I'm sure that I just went from your question.
Yeah,
but I'm fine. I'm good with it as long as you're good with it.
Yes, you are.
But anyway, simple things that happen on a daily basis in certain fields of work, you can't control at all. And you can feel yourself, at least I could feel myself digressing, right? Okay. I started having memory issues. And if we can go back to how I got to the point of getting help, it's not just the ideology or the thought of taking my own life to make things simple. I started forgetting things. My memory became pretty crap. Loss of balance was a big one. I ride mountain bikes, and I would find myself slowing down. I would just fall over, and you feel like an absolute idiot. There you are laying on the ground, clipped into a bicycle, and you're like, how did I get down here? But I watched and felt these different things start to happen. So my wife found help for me. Our first stop was at a place in La Jolla. And that was really my first experience with kind of getting that mental health. Okay. Getting my brain on a healthy track. And I really didn't know what to expect. So after all that, I've ended up here with you in Temecula, which some people say it's good, but on days I walk out of here wondering what just happened to me. It's a very, very weird experience. You think about,
tell me about it,
what you're doing to my brain. And I actually call you Dr. Brainkenstein
in your phone,
in my phone, because whatever you're doing, I don't know.
I am not a doctor.
Hey, I know. This thing is happening to your head, and you sit there and you listen to it, and it's like, what is going on?
Does it hurt?
No. No, it doesn't hurt. There's like, I have a scar on the back of my head, and sometimes that feels like you're tattooing the back of my head. Okay. But that's it. It does not hurt. There's no residual effects. I know that there is some treatment that I've been through where it screws up your entire day. You go home and you feel weird, and I am completely out of pocket for that entire day.
It's the two, right? What is that therapy that you're speaking of?
It's a ketamine treatment, Spravato, Spravato. I believe it's a nasal inhalant, I guess you would call it, right? It's like Vicks vapor. You stick it in your nose, and you take this nice big long inhalation, and after doing both nostrils, one stick 3 times, you're in la la land. And I am not a guy who has ever done any sort of illicit drug. And my first experience, I was like, whoa, actually now I know why people are doing this. It's pretty cool because I fell into this kind of deep hallucinogenic, or it was just a deep hallucination, really. Okay. I'm a horse guy, so I found myself in this green meadow and this stream, and this horse was literally laying his head on my shoulder, and I'm like, this is the most peaceful I've ever been. Okay. And all of a sudden they start upping my doses. Okay. And that became almost too much to handle. I saw demons. I know that sounds ridiculous, right? It's like, look at this dude saying, oh, he saw demons. I saw demons. I ended up in a place where I didn't really want to be. And you're in this state of being half asleep, but hearing what's going on around you to a certain degree. And it's very odd. Like, you almost feel very vulnerable at that point. And they do these in group sessions, not with this guy, never. And I told them straight up, you're not putting me in a group of people to do this, because a lot of times I can't control my actions even when I'm not on this. Right. And it progressively started getting worse. And I'm asking my wife, are you seeing improvements? What's happening? And she said, well, I don't see any improvement. So we kind of ran the gamut. We ran this course.
How long?
Oh man, it had to be 6 months, twice a week.
And to be totally fair, when me and your wife sat and spoke about it, at the end of it, you recall small improvements.
Mm-hmm.
Fair?
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah.
And this isn't to beat that up or say don't do that or anything like that.
It might work for somebody else.
It might work for people.
People swear.
And anything that works, I support.
Yep.
You know?
Sure.
Getting help. Man, whatever starts you off down that path, I commend you for starting that path.
Well, it turned bad, Kyle. I mean, you know, and maybe this is what happens to people when you're doing this, but it was the same dose and probably 3 or 4 appointments prior to me running the entire course. I had an absolute horrific appointment. I fell into I was back on a rooftop, back doing what I was supposed to do. And my dad shows up, and my dad was not the most loving, caring, heavy-handed man you've met, right? Grew up in a foreign country, and he had a certain way that he wanted to raise his men. But he was there with me in this hallucination, and there was a little boy in the street, and he was telling me to do something which goes completely against every fiber of my body not to do. And I ended up doing it. And I had an absolute meltdown.
Yeah.
Absolute. Like, I could not pull myself out of that. And thank God my wife was there, because this poor 110-pound young man that was supposed to be observing me and keeping me out of harm's way would have been flattened by a 230-pound steamroller.
Yeah.
If things continued to go sideways, even when I came out of this medically induced, whatever you want to call it, hallucination, it took me a very long time to recover from that, to the point where I did not want to go back.
Yeah. Where
I was afraid that I was going to be thrown back into that.
And then, moment, my God.
Pardon?
Into that moment.
Oh yeah, it was, it was like this 360-degree 7D experience that I really didn't want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And that in itself is just mentally exhausting and, physically exhausting to a certain degree, because you in that moment, I could feel myself physically fighting, and it was not a great experience. And maybe it was just me. Maybe my brain just doesn't react to that sort of thing. I don't know. But what I do know,
maybe there's a lot of dark shit in that brain in the first place.
There could be, there could be. I mean, there's some horrible experiences, but pardon, when you volunteer for something, you have to expect to a certain degree that this is now my life. This is what I've been conditioned for. But some things you can't be mentally conditioned for. The sights, the sounds, the smells, the activities. You become this almost like a robot, but just because you can be disassociated with what's going on out there in real time doesn't mean that when I get home, I can just turn off a light switch.
Yes.
And be daddy normal. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I am accused of and agree with that I do disappear mentally from my family. And it's not fair to them. It's not fair to my kids. I get that typical 1,000-yard stare. Uh-oh, there goes dad. Look out, everybody. But you can't go on like that for long. And anybody who's suffering from something like that, I strongly encourage them to get help. And, God bless the VA and the things that they do. Sometimes it's just not enough. It's just not enough. And they need to go seek what's right for them,
100%.
And when I met you and your team here, I was a skeptic. I'm like, come on, man.
Mhm.
I am not waiting for a bolt of lightning to fix my brain. It's just it was odd, but I find myself.
How did you find us?
Funny. The people that I was doing this Spravato with actually recommended it.
Okay.
And then my wife found you guys local because it was a lot easier than going to La Jolla twice a week. And I'm always kind of the naysayer, right? It's like I don't scratch lottery tickets, it's rigged. But really, and here I am, and I don't have those after effects, right? And the Spravato guys, their team in La Jolla thought that because what they were expecting to happen after my Spravato regime, I didn't end up there. Right? I didn't have the outcome that they were hoping for.
Got you.
And they thought it was best to move along and try a different approach, because I also didn't really want to go back to that kind of situation. So anyway, my wife did a bunch of research about y'all, and she liked it. She liked the look of it. She's my brains, actually. She has to do a lot of stuff for me because I have the attention span of a tsetse fly. It's just doesn't work. I'm surprised I can get up and get dressed every day sometimes. But I started coming here and very much like, yeah, whatever, I'll do as I'm told. But she is noticing some great improvement. She tells me that maybe to make me feel better about myself, but I feel better. I really do. I've seemed to have found my sense of humor again. I didn't have one for a really long time.
Understatement. But go ahead.
Yeah. Don't be in a room when we're talking. I am. If I was at work, I'm a walking.
Well, I want to step in here. When you came, so dark. Yeah. And I loved going in and sitting with you while you were in a chair and just letting you talk, not guiding it or trying to get anything specific out of you, but just letting you go. And where you would go, you told me the plan, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was the first time I sucked my thumb.
Yeah, we talked about it almost at nauseum. It's like, and then you sit back and you're looking at me and I'm reflecting on myself going, I'm a nutbag.
Yeah. My eyes are this big, like, my goodness.
Who comes up with shit like this?
So dark.
Yeah,
but then you tell your stories, brilliant as it can be, You tell just the stories on how you get there, the people the experience that you've lived through, the things you've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, when you said earlier, like the smells, like,
yeah, it's a big one. And people that have been to certain locations in the world, there are smells that will immediately, and I'm not going to say trigger. Trigger is such an overused word. I feel like I need crayons.
They stole
puppy
it. It was
when
stolen.
I say I'm triggered, right? But recently, I was in a part of Texas near the border, and I walked out of the hotel room that morning and I literally froze in my footsteps because it smelled exactly like Afghanistan. And if anybody has been to Afghanistan, I don't care where you've been in that country, there is a smell.
Okay.
And this town had that smell. I'm like, oh God, my son's looking at me like, you okay? I'm like, man, this is wild. Wild. But yeah, smells are huge. All your senses, especially if you're a nocturnal employee,
Okay.
And you're relying on your senses because some of them are depleted, right? Although we have great ability to see in the dark, right? You're still relying on all of your other senses.
Of course.
And smell is one of them. And yeah, there are smells that you'll never forget.
So listening to those stories, I have seen And this is why I did want your wife to come in here, because I wanted to get her perspective. Because obviously I have mine, right? I don't sit in the room with a lot of people while they're getting their treatments, but you're a special guy.
Me? Yeah, I get it.
I wanted to watch this one from start to finish. And I've seen the transition in you. Number one, the sense of humor, right? When we sat there that first time, there was no sense of humor. There was you trying to make jokes that were, for me, okay, I can laugh at this, but that shit is so dark.
Oh, yeah.
That it's kind of funny.
Kind of not.
You kind of not. A little terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Some would worry about suicidal. I was kind of worried about homicidal, you know?
See, I've never felt that way.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people that drive in California that I would like to push into the intersection, you know, but that just goes kind of with where we're at.
Okay.
You know?
But now it's actually funny, and you are coming into what I believe is you, the best version of you possible, right?
I feel personally I have a long way to go, right? But I have seen changes in myself since I've started coming here. Like, not that I'm Britney Spears, but I find myself singing, right? Where I'm like, okay, this is weird. I'm friggin' bebopping along in my truck and I'm singing. And I have to look around, make sure nobody's looking, you know? It's like farting in public. It happens, and all of a sudden you're looking over your shoulder like, oh God, who noticed that? It's the same way with me, you know. I'm not a small dude, you know.
No,
I'm not too ashamed to say it, but I have been caught singing Britney Spears songs.
Okay.
In my truck, and you know what? I don't care.
Attaboy.
Whatever.
Attaboy. What else?
I tend to. I don't know. I think I'm a little bit more enjoyable for my kids, because when I do stupid things now, I can laugh about it a little bit more.
Okay.
You know, where I used to not. I mean, I was too serious. I was, you know, when you live a life of, you know, your time frame was 10 seconds before to 10 seconds after, that is your timeline. You know, it's way too serious. I mean, there we have your reasoning, right? But as a dad and a husband, I had to unwrap a little bit. And I didn't really start to unwrap until recently, and I'm not giving you all the kudos.
You never would.
I would never admit that you were right. But I start feeling a little bit less stringent, I guess.
Okay.
Right. I was very time oriented. I was very don't deviate. There is no fun. The fun lamp has been turned off. And I come in here, and this is like the highlight of my day, because I give everybody grief, and it is so fun. And we can have a good laugh. I can get my treatment, and then I can go out in the real world knowing that I'm getting better. And the days of me wanting to choke out random Bobby at the grocery store because he stepped in front of me are really kind of gone. And it's relaxing, you know? And yes, I used to be that way. I did things that I'm going to plead the fifth on. Right.
Yes,
but
please.
I mean, I was not a nice person. I'm kind of known for not being a nice person. And all my, you know, the guys that I work around, they tease me. They're like, you're getting soft, man. I'm like, nah, I'm just honing the edge, trying to keep you off guard. But really, I do feel better. I don't get wrapped around the axle about work anymore. I mean, if one of my guys used to make a mistake, that's my reputation. And you are messing with my reputation, bro. And I am an HR nightmare, because I speak my mind.
Yeah.
You know, I have always expected excellence out of everybody. My kids, my employees, my wife, which she put me in my place real quick. Yeah, that was a dangerous time.
I met that
life.
one.
Yeah. And people around me, you know, I surround myself by people whom I feel not only understand me, but can tolerate me.
Okay.
Right. Tolerance is a big thing. And I hate it when there's like this, your reputation precedes you. Oh God, are they okay? You know, it's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, you know, sometimes we have to tell them that you are a little bit afraid of balloons. Right. So I've gone to friends' birthday parties. It's so stupid, but they won't have balloons because I was afraid of balloons because of something that happened involving a stupid balloon, you know? But anyway, you know, the whole social aspect.
Today,
I can actually walk down an aisle at the grocery store now that has balloons and a net on the ceiling.
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
You downplayed the shit out of that, but that's a big deal. Because we've talked about that balloon and what that represents, man. And that's a humongous deal.
You know, you try to put a name on everything. Oh my God, he has globophobia. Nah, I was just piss ant scared of a balloon.
Yeah.
It makes a horrible noise when people are playing with it. And then typically right after they're squeaking it in their stupid little hands, the thing pops. And usually when your back is turned, you know, no, it's not cool. And Mylar balloons are no different, you know, just because they're not latex or whatever people are allergic to nowadays. It's a balloon, man. It's filled with compressed air. And they all have the capability of popping and me urinating on myself and trying to act like it's no big deal. Fireworks for the longest time. We went to a new church when we lived out of state, and it was absolutely gorgeous. They had a beautiful Christmas Eve service, and we didn't know that they had fireworks at this church.
You wouldn't typically guess there's going to be fireworks at a Christmas Eve.
No, man. Yeah.
You know?
Hot apple cider in my hand and everything. I hit the deck because they were right behind us.
Oh.
No wonder nobody was sitting in that particular row. We thought we had hit the jackpot. We're like, oh, this is great. We got our own outdoor fire. You know, we can see everything. This is great. We love the service. And boom, it goes off, man. I'm covering one of my kids. I'm laying on top of him. I got a kid laying on top of me. And they're like, Dad, are you okay? And you're looking around at all these strangers, right? And they don't know what I'm like, man, that ice caught me off guard. No ice there.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So,
no, it makes sense though.
The loudest explosion you'll ever hear is at night when you're not expecting it. So, anyway, here we go down that rabbit hole.
So you come in, my staff, they treat you well?
Yeah. Yeah. From the minute you walk in, everybody's friendly. And then one of them hands you an iPad and says, take a test that you don't study for. Right. I'm like, I'm not a good test taker. What do I do? You know, you're scrolling through this thing and you're answering this battery of questions. And there's about 12 different categories and they never change. And it's so redundant. But I find myself looking at them going, oh, this has gotten better. You know, and like every other human being on the face of this earth, I have good days and I have bad days, good weeks, bad weeks. And I mentally kind of track it. I don't have the greatest memory, obviously, but I can see changes in my responses. And, you know, you see this scale of 0 to 5, and each scoreable number is like vastly different. Like, oh, I don't feel this at all. And the other one is like, I'm going to murder you. And there's no these categories.
That is not on the test, I promise.
Well, in my mind, it is.
In your mind, that's how you're reading it.
Yeah, but I take these tests and I feel like they are progressively getting better. Yeah. You know, and like I took one today and I try to be as truthful as I can on them and how I was feeling because it's only going to affect me. You know, it's a battery of numbers and anybody can look at the numbers and you can compare it, right? And go, oh, look, these ones are higher or lower. And look, these ones are higher or lower. But there's no way, in my opinion, for me to quantify it in my brain when I go, well, was it really this bad? or was it this bad? You know, so I don't know. I try to do it. I know you guys keep track of it. And then I do the whole wearing the funny hat brain scan thing in there. And I remember the first time I did it, you had some very interesting things to say that I wasn't aware of. You know,
like what?
Like, so when did you find out you were bipolar? Like, I mean, yeah, I've joked around saying, "Oh, I'm bipolar, man."
You said you were bipolar, dude.
Well, I didn't need you to quantify that after I took these tests, and then you go, "Holy crap, maybe I am." You know, because I had these super highs and these super lows, and it was almost like the tide. I could feel myself shift from kind of happy-go-lucky to who's going to be the first person that pisses me off that I have to take care of today. And I felt this happening, right? And then it was kind of proven that maybe I did have that problem, right? And you also came to me and you're like, "Hey, your sleep apnea is really bad. Are you on a CPAP?" I'm like, "Mind your own business." No, I'm not. You know, it's like,
mind your own business.
Yeah, it's like, "Hey, hold on a minute. Yeah, I don't need you in there. I don't need you inside my head. I know what's going on in there. I don't need you coming out and telling me that, oh yeah, you're a mess." You know,
that's your impersonation of me, dude.
No, you don't want it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot worse.
No, I haven't impersonated you yet. But yeah, stay out of my brain. That was me, because I got really tired of people. And it's not just you, right? But in my life, telling me that your brain is really bad. No, say it isn't so. I knew that, you know, but I think all in all, it's getting better.
Yeah.
If I'm to wrap up that big diatribe of discussion, it's getting better. I feel it.
We see it.
My wife notices it. The kids notice it. We have a very I don't want to say vocal, because that sounds like we're always yelling at each other, but we talk to each other about things. The kids are very good about letting us know kind of what they're thinking, what they're feeling. That's the way we raised them, because the way that I was raised, you don't talk about feelings.
Right.
At all. No.
Right.
Big no-no.
Uh-huh.
Right. And they're actually going to my wife. They're going, "Dad is getting better."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which, it says a lot to me, because not long ago they were going to my wife and going, "What is the matter with Dad?"
Yeah.
Like, Dad has the face, right, of "don't come near me." And I do it. I would have a shitty night, excuse me. I would wake up, because I would have these dreams, and I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to interact. I wanted to mentally come down from that. And it was hard on the kids.
Of course.
You know, and I don't want to do that to
yes.
them, you know.
I'd imagine to you that's a form of repeating that cycle, not breaking that chain.
100%.
Right.
And, you know, every new father takes it upon themselves not to make the mistakes that their father made. Right. And I found myself at times being my father. And it's like, yeah, that's not where I want to be right now at all. At all. So I am on, I think personally, I'm on the correct path currently. Jury's out, you know. I mean, I might get on the road to go home right now and something happens and I snap.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Andy's on the 215 freaking out right now. I can see him from office. On the dreaming aspect, because that's a big deal.
Yeah.
How you sleeping today?
I sleep better.
Okay.
My typical mental reenactment, right? Let's call it that.
Okay.
Has changed. It's a trip, man. It's like I don't partake in the news anymore. I don't watch it. I don't listen to it. I live in my own bubble.
Yeah.
Because nothing's great out there, right? There's nothing you hear. But I have the weirdest dreams about being invaded by China. And it's like these weirdest things, man. And it's almost like an adventure because I'm not living the past. I'm like creating these new things in my brain, and it's kind of fun. That sounds ridiculous.
I knew you were going to enjoy that. It's so sad that I was like, oh, he loves this shit.
I do.
Damn it, dude.
Yeah. Well, it's a far cry from where I came from when I was getting ready to end that particular stage in my life. I was having these horrific nightmares where my guys were there and I'm directing them as to what to do. But I also had my wife and kids there, and I'm trying to get them to get out of trouble, and I'm trying to get my guys to get into trouble. You know, and it was very exhausting.
Yeah.
And I would wake up confused and pissed off and wondering why they were there. And it was weird because it's this transition. The way it was explained to me, it's a transition from going from that life, and we'll call it retiring. So now I have my family who is number one in priorities, whereas before my guys in the field were my number one priority. Now they're on this equal playing field.
Okay.
And you're trying to do both things at the same time to make this transition.
Okay.
And people want to know why transitioning vets have such a hard time. There it is.
Yeah.
You have this whole new world that you're unfamiliar with. They might have been 18 years old when they joined. They saw some things that they weren't really probably planning on. Hey, I'm going to join the Marine Corps so I can go to college for free. Wah, wah.
Right.
And now you're in Kandahar, you know, and now you as a human being have been changed forever. It's the typical, I'm a larva. I'm going to form in this cocoon. I'm going to come out as something else in my perfect world. I'm going to be this beautiful little butterfly going to get my college education. Right now, you're the death head moth coming out of that. And you're like, how do I transition from being told what to do every day to I have to now focus on my family and go out and earn a living? You know, where before you were told what to wear, told what to do, told what to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when not to go to the bathroom. And its transition is really tough for especially veterans.
Of course.
You know,
we see it far too often here.
I suspect so. Yeah.
On that, would you recommend this therapy to somebody in the transition phase?
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you, it's, I don't really know how to say this. Like mentally, even like my acuity, I feel has gotten better. And this is going to sound ridiculous, but I do those word puzzle things, right? Where they give you a battery of random letters and you have to start making words. And, you know, I rock at making 3-letter words. I mean, I can do that all day. I struggle with 3-letter words sometimes.
Okay.
Right? Even the spelling of them. And then it's odd because I started doing it when I was laid up in the experimental chair. And you know, I can hear it going off behind me, and I look, and I kid you not, these words were jumping out at me. And it's like idiot savant, right? All of a sudden I'm seeing all these words, and you know, I'm making things. And I told you about it one day. I'm like,
I remember.
I mean, man, put that thing on my head. I'm going to retake the SAT. Let's see how I do now.
Yeah.
You know, and I do find that I am getting a little bit more of that intellect. Not that I didn't have it, but it was kind of suppressed for a long time. I didn't want to waste the energy thinking about things. You know, I'd rather kind of go out and do it and see what finds out.
Yeah.
You know, see what happens. You know, what's this big red button do? Don't touch the big red button.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's great. I think that if anybody is struggling, especially like if you're in that deep chasm of, I don't know what to do, I'm transitioning, I'm scared, I don't think it would hurt just to give it a shot and look at what happens. Because I came in here, like you said earlier, I was the devil. I had just lived through the Spravato thing. I was a naysayer. I didn't want to go back there. And here I am back in Dr. Brankenstein's office, not knowing what was going to happen. And I don't know how long I've been at this, a couple of months, right? 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And it's doing something. So I don't know. Maybe it's all a placebo.
What about the ones
it's
that
a
are
placebo? You've convinced me it's doing something
it's still
right.
placebo? I love it. I'll take it too. Let it be placebo. I don't care. What about the ones that are thinking about ending it all?
Well, I mean, at that point, you absolutely need to do something. You need to talk to somebody and even possibly recommend a form of treatment that is out of your comfort zone, because that's what I had to do, right? And then if that is just coming to a place like this and knocking on somebody's door and telling them, I'm a veteran, I need help. Because if you don't do that, things are going to fall apart around you, and then you're going to wonder why it happened that way, and you can only blame yourself. I was blaming everybody around me except myself until I started looking for somebody to help. And I think I've landed both feet on the ground, knowing that this is changing me somehow. It's better. And I'm not trying to be a salesman. There's nothing in this for me. I get zapped when I sit in the chair. So how is that going to change? Yeah. I always worry that, I've pissed you off because you're going to start up in the voltage and you're going to scramble my brains and going to walk out drooling on myself, but in the grand scheme of things, it's no matter where you start, you've got to find something that in your heart is helping you. And if you keep this mentality like nothing's going to work, because I went through it. I went through that for a long time. Like, this isn't working, but I sure do love the feeling, when I'm there, when I'm done, it's so good, it's great. But in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't doing anything. Yeah, sorry about that.
You're fine.
But no, I think it's good. I never knew something like this existed. Right. Mm-hmm. Maybe back in the 20s or the 30s, they're lobotomizing people and, God knows how they're doing it. But here I am.
Well, they don't do those anymore for a reason.
They should bring them back. I know some folks.
The last thing I want to ask you, bud, how long have I been asking you to come in here?
Since I walked in the door the first day. And
it wasn't the first day.
Okay. Second.
I would never ask your dark ass that shit. You kidding me?
No, you started pressuring me for a while. And I still don't know how I ended up in here.
I know.
It's like, I don't know, you roofied me or something. And here I am in this, because I used to look at this studio from afar, right? Like, you're not getting me in there, dude.
That door's typically open.
Yeah.
So you can see it.
Yeah. But I feel better about talking about this because I have a lot of conversations with myself.
Okay.
It's like, you're two sides of your brain talking to each other. But I think doing something like this on top of what I'm doing, like you asked me to come and sit with a bunch of other vets.
I did.
That is not me, brother.
I did.
Never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know how to say this eloquently, so I won't. It's always a sword fight. Whose package is bigger? Who has done what? And that is my greatest fear. And to be quite honest, I used to go to an open forum AA group.
Okay.
To listen to other people talk about the issues they've had.
Okay.
To try to learn, to try to teach myself how to communicate more efficiently when I'm in these dark spots.
Okay.
Don't know if it helped. I mean, I would put on my handsome boy clothes and stroll on in there and not say a word to anybody and sit in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And
but you were listening.
But I would listen, and Then some guy's like, here's our 12-step program. Like, yeah, I don't need that. I don't want that. I don't want that. But it was another opportunity to get things off my chest. And when I come here, I can speak to you, quite frankly, as much as you may be twitching when I walk out of the room. It was still an opportunity for me to get things off my chest.
Yeah.
You know, things that I don't talk to, and I'll say normal people, because I don't put you in that category.
That's right.
At all.
I'd be mad if you did.
Yeah. And, you know, poor Amber, one of those fantastic people here, has walked in, unfortunately, on some of these conversations. And I've never seen anybody do an about face so fast in my life. She should probably seek help also.
And that's the worst part.
Encountering me.
Her office is right next to mine. So typically she can hear it too.
Get her help or earplugs.
She has access to TMS.
Might be too late.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got her own demons too.
Yeah. I think everybody does. And
we all do.
I wholeheartedly believe most people are afraid to admit it, number one, and number two, to face it, because facing your fears or your demons is a daunting task. And people don't have the patience. It's too much work. I don't have the time. What are my friends going to say? You know what? Get over yourself.
That's right.
Help.
That's right.
And for the love of God.
Oh, amen. So how much of this being the naysayer, right? Being that this shit isn't going to work. I remember you just laying in the chair.
Yeah. Counting holes in the ceiling.
Right? How long did that last? Because it's not like you were an immediate believer.
No, I don't know. A while, right?
Yeah.
Because I felt myself loosening up a little bit because, man, I was so uptight. I was watertight. Right? Like there wasn't anything.
It's so funny because I know what you're really saying with that.
I was like a frog.
Yeah.
You know? But I feel better about coming here and being open and having fun. But it's always, I'm not going to say that I provide the professional fun, because I don't. I am like 3 steps away from being really inappropriate sometimes. But I know I can come in here and be myself, and you guys are always receptive of that.
3 steps, dude. Three. Are you kidding? Half a step at most time.
All right, I'll.
But go ahead.
I'll take that.
Yeah. We jump over that line all the time.
Yeah, especially me. In fact, I think one of the girls said to me one day, "Oh my God, you can't say that in front of other patients."
In the lobby of all places.
I mean, there really should be a sign on me somewhere that this face comes with subtitles. You know, my wife.
Usually your shirts say
something along
what they need to say, you know?
Well, yeah. I've been accused of that. I actually have a shirt that says, "I'm actually nicer than my face looks." You know,
and you are, man.
Because, man, people avoid me like the plague, and sometimes that's the way I want it. Right? It's like, just shoo. Like I don't really. I don't want to know you or your problems. I don't want to know your family. But I am actually becoming more social, which is very uncomfortable for me. I don't like social events. I don't like people wanting to get to know me, all huggy, feely, touchy. I'm like, no. You know, and it's like all of a sudden my wife said, "We have changed roles." Now she's like, "Stay away from me." I'm like, "Hey, hi, how are you?"
I love it so much.
You know, my wife's like, "Hey, you want to go out to
you have joy?"
Or somebody will call us, "Hey, you guys want to go to the winery?" And she'll look at me, and I feel the daggers, right? I'm like, "No, I don't want to go to that winery and interact with human beings." You know,
you have joy in life.
Yeah, it's
singing Britney Spears while you're driving down the road. You have joy in life.
I do. And I will never admit this out loud, but I really think it's been you and your staff that have helped me kind of break out of that. You know, I joke like I am literally Humpty Dumpty. I dumped off backwards off that wall and my shell is cracked. And to me, that's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Do I still get pissed off? Yeah.
Of course.
Do I still get on business calls and want to slam my phone on my desk until it's in 50 pieces? Sometimes. Depends what we're talking about. I think that's just an innate personality flaw sometimes, that I can go from 0 to 100 in one comment. I try to be better, and I wholeheartedly believe this is helping me, because I can stay a little bit more mellow and almost laugh at some of the things that these people are saying. Like, you are so ridiculous. I can't believe that just fell out of your mouth and it's laying there on the table. It really is. But I think if I stay on this path, on this course, I think that I'm going to be very happy with where I end up. And most importantly, my wife and my kids, I couldn't go through. And there was a time where I was probably going to be living in a lean-to homemade cabin in the mountains of Idaho by myself.
Yeah.
It was realistic to me. Like, wait, I can just drop everything and disappear, and I won't be bothered by people. I won't have to talk to anybody, because I don't necessarily enjoy talking a lot. Like, this is way out of my comfort zone.
We've been in here for a long time.
Well, then let's cut that one off.
I'm not cutting anything that's been said in here. This has been amazing. The fact that, like I said, I've been asking you to come in here for so long, just for your perspective of TMS, the journey of TMS, the benefits of it. I wanted you to tell them what this is, and you've gone above and beyond. You've shared things.
Yeah, I'm starting to.
You've shared things that I did not expect. Honestly, I expected to be in here for
edit that
20 minutes. I'm not editing shit.
We're not editing shit.
And Brian is right there, and he'll be the one to do it. I'm sure we're going to talk about this here in a second when we do wrap this up, man. You are, this one has been such a joy for me to watch you go through this. From sitting in there, literally, like I've said several times, sucking my thumb, worried. Holy shit,
like,
where's this one going to take us,
home,
man?
Like, is he following
this
me?
one could be wild, but to sit here with you today on the couch, just being open,
and
vulnerable.
I am sitting. I'm not laying on the couch like I usually am, right?
Sharing stories about singing Britney, bro. Like,
yeah,
I couldn't have asked for this. You couldn't pay for this, to be honest.
But boy, I'm expensive,
man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to sit here and tell anybody who watches or listens to this that it's not Earl Scheib for $99.99, no ups, no downs. You're going to get the car painting of your life.
Yep.
Yeah. For you, it may include the windows and the hubcaps. It's not going to be Van Gogh. For some people, you're well on your way, but some people, I don't know. Everybody's different, but I tell you what, for me, it is working.
That's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I need a hug.
You want a hug?
No.
I'll fucking hug you.
There are too many people
I know.
out there, witnesses.
I know. You said a couple of things, and I just want to look at the camera like they're going to see this, but okay.
Yeah.
But with that, I thank you. Before you start crying, man. I'm gonna get you out of here.
I don't cry. A little bit sometimes.
Don't cut that one either. I want that as a little short. Everyone out there, man, military, veteran, active duty, whatever it is. If you're suffering, man, come see us. Thank you, Andy.
My pleasure.
And everyone out there, make it a great day.